I'm Kristin Archibald, founder and creator of Rose Gold Magnetic. Welcome to episode 1. This business, this brand, and all of the courses I've made and this podcast that I have created, I have built to help change your life in the shortest time possible by collapsing the gap between idea and execution, between what you want and what you have. And I've built that because that is what I have done. And I'm going to talk a lot about myself throughout season 1 and some real life stories and sacrifice a lot of my own privacy and my vulnerability to give you the stories of literally things that I have made happen so fast in like a 24-hour period that you wouldn't even, there'd be no logical reason that that I would have been able to make those things happen other than my own really internal conviction. Rose Gold Magnetic is a brand, a business, and frankly kind of like as an ideology and as this podcast is going to contradict what most manifestation coaches are teaching you today. So I want to be clear about one thing. This is not a manifestation podcast. This is not like none of the courses are really about manifestation because like I said, they do contradict what most manifestation coaches are teaching you about how to get all of the things you want, whether it's like getting your dream job, your dream person, more money, like this house, like move to another city, like whatever they're teaching you will likely be contradicted by what I'm telling you and how to make everything happen so fast in your life. So one of the reasons that I created Rose Gold Magnetic is that I got really, really clear on my dharma. And if you don't know what your dharma is your soul's purpose. Your soul's purpose and your dharma, that is the thing that you are uniquely better at than anyone else. And every single person has a dharma, and whether you kind of know it or not, you're probably either doing it or you've been doing like something similar to it your entire life. It's this thread that runs through every chapter of your life. And my dharma has always been my ability to see the best possible version of every person, like this person's highest potential. And I'm usually able to see that, whether they can even see that in themselves. And it's something that I've had to do in my life many, many times. So I've created so much in my life over the last 10 years. And even 10 years ago, I was creating a lot of content and a lot of projects kind of publicly. And I had a lot of stuff that started to become really successful, which I think was mostly from my own like level of detachment. And part of the thing that I'm going to be showing you how to do in Rose Gold Magnetic is about moving really fast, because the things I made that were successful back then, it's not that I was necessarily like smarter or more talented than someone trying to do the same thing, but I just moved faster, and I've always done that. And that like while someone's thinking about something or researching, or like whether that they want to do it or trying to do it perfectly, like I've already put it out in the world. And so there's a lot, like conviction and speed go together. So we'll be talking a lot about that and how to just make what you want happen so fast that you don't even have time to think about it. But as far as my dharma and kind of taking it to this course is that I've always just been able to see the best possible version of every person. But I have definitely for sure applied that in the wrong areas in my life, like, relationships, friendships. Because the thing is that you can see the best possible version of someone and their highest potential, but everyone has free will. And one of the things that took me the longest to be successful is just this desire for me to want to drag everyone with me, like on my road to success. Like I want people to come with me and like, can you partner with me? Like, do you have the same vision and the same dreams as me? And that's not always true. And so rather than applying that kind of more in my personal life, creating this as a business, as an ideology, and just knowing that whoever's meant to hear it, that it's going to completely find the right person, and just putting that out into this world. So I want to talk to you about what Rose Gold Magnetic is And kind of the promise of this podcast and the courses, whether you purchase the courses or not, the podcast is free. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable, because part of the promise is that if you listen every week, your life will change so fast. I mean, in a week. I mean, potentially in 24 hours, your life will change so fast between like the things that you have wanted or maybe have wanted for years. So first I want to tell you about why it is so different than what many manifestation coaches are teaching. So the last few decades, I feel as though many manifestation, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, this isn't what I'm going to be sharing. What many manifestation coaches are teaching is almost like Neville Goddard on steroids. And there's a place for that. And we're going to talk about a lot of that in season 1, like the law of assumption and conviction and just your belief in the power of something happening. But what many manifestation coaches are teaching is that in order to get something into your life, so that you are going to tune your frequency to what you want, that you are going to act as though you already have it, that you are going to become the version of you that already has it, that you are going to feel that way. So like the easy example is if, let's say you don't have any money today and you have a ton of debt, and that you are going to now feel like you're going to live and act like a method actor, like how you would be if you had a ton of money. And you're going to go about living like that until you attract a ton of money. And like, that's what they would tell you about kind of anything, like to like meet the right person or to find the right person or your dream job, that rather than living and acting in a state of what is, you will become and live and act and align yourself and your reality as though you already have it. And what I would say is that for a typical person to be able to do that, to be able to sustain that type of vibration is very low. Because to be able to ignore the reality around you and to do that is nearly impossible. And like I said, we will talk about that. But the good thing that I've created here and what I'm going to share is that you're not going to do that. You're not going to even need to do that. Rather than that, what Rose Gold Magnetic is about reinvention. And I use that word because it's very actionable. We focus a lot on the 12 laws of karma, especially the law number 2, which is about taking action. It's the law of creation. And the most important, my favorite quote of all time is the Rumi quote. As you start to walk on the way appears. This is like pure action. As you start to walk on the way appears. What that means is that you just start moving. You just move so fast between what you want. It's not as you start to think about it, then it happens. Like as you start to plan what you're doing. No, it means that you take the first action today and then the next step will unfold. So rather than trying to get yourself into like this mindset to change or to change your feelings or your thoughts to change your life, instead in Rose Gold Magnetic, we just move so fast that I am going to show you how to change every single thing in your life. Literally, sometimes in a 24-hour period by just moving so fast. Because the most happy, successful, abundant people, when they want to do something, they pick up the phone and they do it. They just simply decide. They just make it happen. They're not like, okay, let me think about it for 6 months and get into a state of doing it. Let me like start cutting stuff out and making a vision board. No, like when they do something, they simply decide and they just make it happen. They don't like have this long gap between idea and execution. They just keep it moving. So that is like why we will be contradicting a lot of that with a lot of the mainstream manifestation, is that I'm going to teach you how to just move really fast on what you want. And I'm not just talking about 3D things here. I'm not talking about manifesting, just manifesting like your dream person, more money, a job, a new house, moving to a new city, whatever this is. I'm talking about 5D stuff here too, because some of the things that people want the most is changing like an internal state. Like the thing that they would probably desire or they've been wanting the most is getting to like this place of self-love, this place of self-forgiveness, like getting to this place of peace, like healing a resentment, getting over a person, that would probably be something that they would desire the most. And it's possibly something that they have literally spent years trying to do, trying to like get over a person, trying to get to like a different place or a different feeling mentally. So that's also something that we're going to do, that like I'm going to show you how to make that happen so fast, also like in a 24-hour period, something that you've potentially spent years on. And we're going to, in this season 1, we're going to take this entire inventory of our life, because a lot of people, they might think, well, my life is like, it's pretty good, I'm pretty happy, like it's not that bad. But the most dangerous place to be in is not rock bottom, because when you're in your rock bottom in your life, you're like completely open and raw, and like you're completely like ready to change. That's when people are super actionable, and that's where they kind of can like change their life really fast. But the most dangerous place to be in is where you know that there's something in your life you need to change, whether it's like, okay, I have to change my health, or I need to like get out of this job, or I need to get out of this relationship, or I need to like move out of this city. I need to do this. And then 24 hours later, something kind of okay or like somewhat good happens, and they're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then 24 hours later, they're back to knowing like, I have to do something about this. I have to make this change. I have to change my health. I have to do this. And then 24 hours later, it's not so bad. And then that's where people literally lose years of their life. They just keep like looping. Like that middle place, that's where dreams go to die. And like in that place, you don't even ever reach like full fulfillment, because you don't even remember anymore. You don't even remember what it's like to feel like optimal health or like absolute true happiness. So rose gold magnetic will also just help completely break that cycle. So why do you think that so many people have an idea of something that they want to change, or like that they're trying to change, and it just doesn't happen? And I'm going to tell you why. And this is why we're going to take action. And this is why we're going to move so fast, is because too many people are relying on your mind to change. Your mind is not going to change. As a human being, your brain's job is hardwired, not designed to make you fulfilled. It's designed to keep you alive. That's neuroscience, and you can research that on your own. But you are hardwired. Your brain, any type of change at all, even a change that would benefit you, feels like a threat. It feels like death. So your brain, as soon as you go to try to make a change, you're going to experience anxiety, even if the change is better, because your brain is going to receive this change as like, this is a threat. This is a death threat to you. And it's going to want you to stay comfortable. It's going to want you to stay in what's familiar, like you're alive now. So why change anything? And so even when you know that there's things that you have to change, like this is the same reason why. This is why people like they don't change anything. They don't end up making more money. They don't end up getting into a dream job. They might not like the job they have today, and then the next job's really similar. Or they might say that they want to be with a certain type of person, and if you notice, they always keep like ending up with the same types of people, because their brain is like, well, I'm alive now. This is like familiar. This is like safe. Like this is not like a threat. So they end up just in the same types of loop. It's also the same reason why people don't ever get over a past resentment, or they don't move on from like a past person. They stay holding on for like literal years because your brain is already trying to prevent any sort of threat of change. If you let go of this, the brain's like, uh-oh, this is like a change, something bad could happen. So I have to just keep holding on to the past, and I have to keep everything the same. And so you might say like, well, what do I do about all of this? Well, I mean, firstly, as your brain does that, and as your brain is trying to protect you from any type of change, if you try to resist that, you're just going to get more like resistance. Like, as they say, like what you resist persist. So when you go to make a change, and whether it's like walking away from a relationship, changing your health, changing your job, you're going to feel that anxiety rising. That's your brain trying to keep you alive. And you need to realize like that how primitive your brain is. And you need to just, you can almost be like grateful, like, thanks, I got this. Like, thanks for like the tip, but I got this. And then that is when we are going to take action so fast. Like this is like small action. This is what I'm talking about, as you walk out on the way that it appears. So for example, if you start to take an inventory of your life, every single thing that's potentially a problem, inner and outer states, like 3D stuff, 5D stuff. Do you need a different job? Do you need more money? Do you need to pay off debt? Like, do you need to forgive someone? Do you need to get at peace with somebody? You're going to start making a list of all this, because we're going to solve all of this in season 1 so fast. One of the easy things you can ask yourself, you can make this list, and you can say to yourself, what must I say, do, or be to make this happen? Like, just use your brain for like logical, practical stuff. What must I say, do, or be to make this happen? If you have a lot of debt, do you have a phone? Like, do you have a phone? You have a phone. So start today, take a picture of every single thing in your house, your apartment, whatever. Take a picture of every single thing, put it on Facebook Marketplace, put it on Craigslist, put it on every platform, and make a couple $1,000s this week selling your stuff today. Make a couple $1,000s today. And you might say to yourself, well, okay, that's only a couple $1,000. I'm like, I have like a ton of debt. That's walking out on the way though. That is the action. No thinking. No think, just do. When you take this action and you make a couple $1,000s selling all of this stuff, something else is going to happen. The next part of the way appears, but it only comes from taking action. It comes from this conviction. It comes from simply deciding, and it comes from taking action. You might say like, oh, you want to buy a home, but maybe you don't have money today. I don't care. Make an appointment, go start looking at some houses, talk to a realtor. Like, every single thing has to happen, but it has to be led from a place of action. So as you look at all of the things in your life, even the forgiveness, even the self-love, even like like maybe moving on from a person, what must I say, do, or be to have this in my life? And just start doing it. And that's what we're going to do. So that is the promise of the podcast. The promise of the podcast is that I am going to show you, teach you, and share my real examples on how I have made crazy, massive things happen in 24 hours. How I will pay off all of my debt so quickly. How when I snapped my fingers and I was like, I want to meet this type of person, they appeared. How I decided when I want to completely change industries, completely change jobs, be in this city, be in this event, go to this thing, make this project, have this project on a really popular platform that's available worldwide, how to do all of these things so fast. And it's not coming from the thinking. It's coming from moving so much faster than anyone. It's not coming from being smarter. It's not coming from being more talented. It's coming from conviction. It's coming from simply deciding. And it's coming from understanding, like I said, about your mind being so hardwired and just trying to keep you comfortable. But if you let go of that and then you just become action led, you can make anything happen today. So before the next week, I just want you to start thinking about, because we're going to take an inventory together. And like, this podcast is free. Like, I'm going to help you be able to get every single thing that you want happen so quick. So before the next episode, you just start thinking about all of the 3D and 5D things in your life. And if you feel like there's nothing you need to change, I would look even closer, because it's likely that there has been stuff that's gone on for years, and maybe you've reached that point in life where it's like just okay. But I don't know who needs to hear this. Your life should be awesome. Like, this is your life, and it's every single day, and it's your co-creation with the universe. And if you're not having fun, if you're not loving your job, if you're not like having like extra abundance, if you're not living an awesome life, you're supposed to. So if you don't love your job, like, you should change. Like, if you're having like this scarcity in your life and like you need to make more money, like, I'm going to help you make more money. If you don't have an awesome relationship, you should. So these are all things that you can change, and that you can change fast. So think about everything, and then I'll see you in the next episode.